get the internet. And the internet only works in this house when all the doors are open. And I ran downstairs and the kids had holed themselves up in the living room with the door shut. So my apologies for the late start and for my slightly panicky demeanour. But we're in now. So how are you? Good morning. Hope you're well. Hope you're feeling okay. You know the score. If you're not feeling well, maybe leave this session until you're feeling a little bit better, because although it's sort of a mix of seated and standing, it's challenging. It is a challenging class. So let's give it a go, shall we? Just make sure we've got everything we need. So I'm hoping you've got a bit of water there, just in case you need some. I shall come to my chair. We will be using a resistance band at some point. And also, I know that you guys who are with me live, you know the score with a chair, but ideally we'd be using a dining sort of style chair. And when we sit in the chair, we want to just make sure that the hips are level or maybe slightly higher than the knees rather than lower. And then we want to make sure that when we sit up, those feet are sort of hip width apart and just underneath the knees. So we'll go into our working position any minute now. Just make sure that this band is nice and safe. There's no tears, no weaknesses in it, and then we can really trust it. So, are we ready, my friends? Let's get going. I'm going to pop that over there for now. I'm going to turn around and face you, and let's get started. So I've got a little plan for today. It's a real mixture. Every session that we do of balance and stability, there's a similar format. So we do a warm-up, we do a cool-down. Those are really important. We do a little section of what we call aerobic work, just to help with your stamina. There's a balance section, which is a mix of static balance and also a bit of dynamic balance. And then there's strength. So the strength is working on those muscles to enable them to support the joints and to help you with everyday activities. So we've got lots of those things in there today. And I'll just let you know when we switch from one to the other, so you get an idea of what you're doing and why, because I think that's really important. So the warm-up, we're going to do it in our working position. So let's just make sure we get into that working position. So from that position where we're back in that chair, we're just going to lift that chest and we're going to take one sitting bone at a time. We're going to walk forwards into that front half of the chair, and then we're going to bring those feet to a comfortable position in front of you, or just underneath the knees, really. So I am here. I'm going to be your driver for the warm-up. So let's sit nice and tall. Let's think about creating some space between the base of the ribs and the top of the pelvis. And we're going to I'm going to breathe out for starters, just because I thought I wasn't going to get any internet. So we're just going to take a little breath in, and then we're going to just allow that breath to come out. And as we breathe in, let's just take a little squeeze up to the ears. And as we breathe out, let's let those shoulders slide away from the ears. So this is a really nice way of reducing any tension in the shoulders. And lots of us, not everyone, but lots of us do tend to carry tension in the shoulders. So this is probably a year of more tension than most. So we always start with this nice little shoulder relaxation. And once we've done that, we're going to warm up this head and neck, okay? Well, not so much the head, but very much the neck and shoulders. So we're going to start just by gently dropping that chin down towards the chest. So I'm going to show you from this angle. We're going to keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. And it's just nice and easy, does it? Just allowing that chin to gently come down. And then we're going to lift that head. We're just looking straight ahead. We don't need to look up. And then again. Just gently dropping that chin to the chest and bringing that head back and looking straight ahead. And then one more time, just letting that chin drop to the chest and lifting that head. Now, we're going to turn the head, gently does it, and we're going to look over that shoulder without moving the shoulders. and we're going to come back to center. We're going to go that way again. So keep these shoulders as relaxed as you can. Nice and easy, does it all within your range of movement. Good. And then we'll just do one more if you can, my friends. Good. And then we're going to come back to center. We drop that chin down towards the chest again, lift that head, and then gently move it this way. So it's a really nice ease into this warm up. And I always think if the head and neck is stiff, or if the neck is stiff, I always talk about the head as if it's got, its own muscles. If the neck and shoulders are stiff, it's really hard to engage with the session. So it's nice just to loosen those up first. And then we're going to take some rolls of these shoulders. So we're just going to roll the shoulders into little circles up and back. Making sure we breathe in and breathe out is the most important one. We're naturally programmed to breathe in, but if we don't breathe out, we might hold our breath. And then we're going to relax those shoulders down. So shall we see if we can just take one at a time, foot off the floor, almost like a little walk, but really gently does it. Almost just lifting the heels off the floor. Lifting one knee at a time, not too high, just getting those feet moving. Lovely. Okay. Now, let's just see if we can take these feet out a little bit wider so we're nice and secure. So you've got a stable base. And we're just going to see if we can just squeeze the shoulders up, relax those arms down by your side. Now remember what we do about tightening that pair of trousers. So we're just going to do it up a notch. We're going to draw that tummy button in, and then without lifting the sitting bones off the chair, we're just going to take those lower back warm-up movements. So we're just taking that sideways movement. It's as if I'm lifting this rib cage up and over. So we're not reaching down and coming back up. Keep that tummy button drawn in, and then the other side. And what we're getting is a nice bit of movement in that lower back. Good work, my friends. And again, breathe out. Okay, breathe out. Lovely. And then we're just going to walk those feet back to hip width apart. We're going to take a little toe tap forwards. Little toe tap forwards. And then we're going to do 3 on each foot, and then we'll take the heel forwards. Okay, so while thinking about sitting nice and tall, then we're going to take the heel. Then we're going to take the heel. Lovely. All right, little heel tap forwards, tap and back. So this session, if at any point you find anything challenging or too difficult, don't do it, okay? Don't push yourself too far. Just stop, rest, and join in when you feel comfortable. That's really important. And then we're going to take these heels off the floor. We're going to just lift the heels, and I'll just show you from this angle, lifting those heels. And again, we're working the calf muscles, getting them nice and warm. And nice warm calf muscles just make all the standing section a little bit easier. Good. And then we're going to see, you might have to move the feet forwards a little bit if you can lift the toes off the floor. Good. Keeping those knees in line with the hips. Good. Keeping them in line with that second toe. Brilliant. And we have standing section, but if you choose to do this whole session seated, that's absolutely fine as well. Or maybe mix and match a little bit. Now we're going to take that little walk on the spot again, and this time we're going to bring in a little bit of arm movement. This is where the joy of no arms comes in, because we're going to bend those elbows a little bit, and we're just going to push the elbows forwards and backwards. So we're getting a little bit of upper body warm up at the same time. And then we're just going to bring those legs down, and we're just going to move those arms for a little bit. So we're doing an arm movement only. And then we're going to relax those arms down. Now, let's see if we can bring these hands underneath the chest. We're going to lift that chest again, draw that tummy button in, and we're going to take a little gentle movement one way, come back to center. So those knees are facing forwards. And the only thing that's moving, it's a little bit like those Russian dolls. Do you remember those? I used to have one. It only had 3 dolls, and I always coveted the people that had about 7 dolls with that really tiny one last. But anyway, just imagine you're twisting the top half of that Russian doll, but the lower half isn't moving at all. That's good. Okay, and then we're going to come back to center. We're just going to let those arms swing. Just let them go. Let them go. Good. And it's a really nice way of just getting some blood flow through the arms, but also getting the tension out of the shoulders. And then we're going to make a fist, and we're going to open out those fingers. We're going to make a fist. It's like a bicep curl. We're just going to open out those fingers, okay? This time we're going to make a fist, and we're just going to push those hands away from you. Really push up into those fingertips. Bring it in and push. Good. We're going to bring it in and push. When I turn to the side, don't feel you have to turn to the side. It's just so you can see what I'm doing better. Very 2D otherwise, isn't it? Good. Okay, we're going to do one more of these. We're going to push it out, and then we're going to bring those hands just around to the back of that chair. See if you can hold onto the back of the chair. But what we're really getting is a nice little stretch across the chest, and then we're going to release, and we're just going to shake it out a little bit. Good stuff. Okay, let's go back to those toe taps forward, shall we? And then we're going to take them slightly diagonally so that when we're standing, we can tap around the outside of that chair leg. So we'll go diagonally and forwards a little bit. Good. And if you feel comfortable, we're going to add a bicep curl. Good. And we're just going to do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Then we're going to bring it in, walk those feet back together. We're going to take some side steps. So we're going to step and bring this foot across. Good. Step across. Lovely. Now, if you feel comfortable, we're going to add a chest press. Good. So we're going to push as we step. Good. Push as we step. Bring it back as we come across. Lovely. We're going to go 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And then we're just going to walk it out. Roll those shoulders. We're going to take this right arm and we're going to draw some circles with the elbows. We're going to do 3 circles. And we're just going to find your range, okay? We're going to do 3 circles on the other side, on the left. Good. And then let's do 2 on that right arm. And you might be able to make these 2 a little bit bigger. You might not. Don't worry if you can't. And 2 on the other arm. Brilliant. 2. And then we're going to just settle these feet and relax the shoulders. Now let's take this right hand onto the right shoulder, walk that hand over the shoulder, give yourself a nice little pat on the back, breathe out, and then bring that arm back down. Let's see if we can do the same on this side. Warming those shoulders up, warming the back of the arms up. Good, and bring it down. And then we're going to walk these feet a little bit wider. We're going to take the weight into the sitting bone and then into this. So we're in that left sitting bone, in the right, but we're not lifting the sitting bones off the chair. We're just taking the weight into one and into the other, keeping that head over those hips. Now, if you can, we're going to take those hands to your right and then to your left. Good, keeping that strong trunk. This is our wide base sway. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, bring it back down. Walk these feet back in. So we're going to take one foot out in front of you. So I'm going to turn my chair so you can see what we're doing. We're taking one foot out in front of you, sitting nice and tall in that front half of the chair, just drawing that toe up to the ceiling. So we're feeling that nice stretch down the back of the leg. And if you feel comfortable, we're just going to lean forwards ever so slightly, breathe out, come up and bring this foot in. Just take a little walk on the spot and then we'll do the same on the other side. So first of all, just sitting nice and tall, drawing that toe up to the ceiling. Probably more in the calf muscle than anywhere else. And then hinging at the hips, bringing that chest towards the straight leg. Lovely. Well, it's not lovely, is it? Let's face facts. It's uncomfortable. But very good for us, very good for us. We only have to do it for a few seconds. So let's take that walk on the spot now, my friends. We're going to walk on the spot and then let's take a punch forward, shall we? Let's get these arms moving a little bit. We're going to take a little punch up. You don't have to punch far. We're going to punch forwards and then we're going to punch up again. Yeah, really loosen off those shoulders. You might find you can punch a little bit further. And then we're going to punch forwards and then relax those arms. Whew. Let those arms swing, friends. Let those arms swing. All right then, I am going to get us to just walk backwards in this chair. I want to make sure we've warmed up those knee joints. So this is a nice chance to relax at the end of the warm-up. We're just going to take those feet out in front of us. Try and keep that back fairly close. I'm sliding forwards, okay? Try not to slide off that chair. I think it just says a lot for my chair more than anything. And all we're going to do is with those heels relaxed on the floor, we're going to use this thigh muscle, straighten one leg and then bring it down. Good. So if you think about it in terms of just getting that knee joint through its range, but squeezing these thigh muscles at the same time. So really waking up these thigh muscles. Good. We're going to do one more on this side and then we'll change legs. So basically almost letting those thighs just relax into that chair seat. Good. Squeeze and down. And you can really feel these thigh muscles having to work. It's a great exercise and very simple. So if you've ever been sat for a while, particularly if you're sort of in the living room and you need to get up, but you're worried about your knees, just get those knees moving a little bit before you stand up, because it's amazing how quickly they stiffen up. Lovely. Okay, let's bring those feet back. Let's think about sitting nice and tall, coming back into that working position. So this is our point where we think, am I going to be standing up for the rest of the session? If you're going to be seated, that is absolutely fine. You're going to stay in this working position and we're going to do control it back down. Now, if you're struggling with that, don't worry, just try your best. Don't worry if you can't do it, because we're still activating these thigh muscles. Go, little squeeze and back down. We're just going to do a couple more. Good. Nice and controlled back down. Feet hip width apart, pushing into the back of that foot and relax. And then we'll just move those feet a little bit. So we're going to think about standing up now. So when we stand up, we stand, we move our feet just to make sure we don't get dizzy, and then we take as many steps as we like to go to the back of the chair. Now, if you think your balance is not good enough to stand and not hold on to something, make sure there's something around you that you can hold on to as you stand up, just to make sure you're safe. Okay, so if you need anything like that, there's an ominous crash downstairs in my house. Thank goodness I'm with you up here. So if you're comfortable, we're going to think about getting ready to stand. Now, once we stood, you'll be able to not see my head, but I will move the camera angle then. So when we're ready, we're going to say 3, 2, 1. We're going to power up, and as soon as we're up, move those feet. Okay, then going in the same direction as if you're working with someone else, we're going to take as many steps as you feel comfortable, and we're going to move around to the back of that chair. Once we're there, just see if you can gently keep your feet moving, holding onto the back of that chair. So I better move the camera a bit, hadn't I? Otherwise it's game over. You won't be able to see a thing. So we're there. I'll just adjust that and we should be okay now. So I've got my chair. I'm walking on the spot. Well done, everybody. If I'm still seated, I'm sitting in the chair. I'm just gently moving my arms or my legs or both. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to start with our stamina building session. So from there, I'm going to move the chair to one side so you can see my feet, so you can see what we're doing. We're going to walk on the spot for part of our stamina building. Then, if I've got my hands here, it's just an indication that I'm holding onto the chair, okay? You can hold on with 2 hands, with 1 hand. You can hold on with no hands, but you know it's there if you need it. Now, let's see if we can just take those little taps, diagonal taps, out and in. Good. So we're going to go out and in. Lovely. I'm holding onto my chair just to get my balance in. Out and in. Good. Out and in. I'm going to do 4 and 3. Good. And 2. Last one coming up. Good. We're going to bring it in. I'm just going to gently move my feet. So this is going to be our recovery walk. So when we've been doing stuff that makes your heart beat a little bit faster, we're either going to recover by pedaling the feet. Remember that little jogger's pedal, holding onto the chair, or gently moving the feet, or if you're really tired, just make sure you're wiggling your toes. Now, our next little exercise, holding onto that chair, just be careful not to knee the back of the chair. We're just going to lift those knees off the floor a little bit higher. We're going to lift, good, lift. So if you prefer, you can always turn, hold onto the chair with one arm and lift those knees a little bit higher, or we can keep them a little bit lower with that chair in front of you. Good. So we're just lifting those knees up a little bit higher. 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Now, just take that little pedal or wiggle the toes or take that little walk on the spot. Next little aerobic exercise we're going to do is going to be those side steps. Now, we've done them seated. Just have that chair for balance, just to get used to it. We're going to take a step to your right. So we're going to step, bring this foot across. We're going to step to your left, bring that foot across. Good. So we're going to step, across, step, across. Good. Step, across, and step, across. We're going to do 4 more, okay? Step, across, step, across, step, across. Last one, my friends. Good. So we've got that chair. We're going to walk it out. So those are the 4 movements we're going to do to give us a little bit of an aerobic workout. So we're going to march on the spot. Now you can hold onto that chair. You can take one hand off the chair and get one arm moving. Or if you feel confident, we're going to march, and it's a brisk march. It's an odd march because we've sort of placed the ball of the foot on the floor and roll through to the heel. But it's a great way of getting that stamina going. So we're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoo! Now you might be just slowing it down a little bit, using a little bit of recovery. So we're always going to have a bit of recovery just to get that heart rate back down to a slightly less challenge rate. Good work. So this is going to help you with your stamina. It's going to help you feel fitter and more able to deal with everyday tasks. So next, let's see if we can do those knee lifts. So we're just going to take those little knee lifts. You can hold onto that chair if you like. We're just going to pull those knees up a little bit. Now, when you do this, try not to lean backwards or forwards. See if you can use these tummy muscles, these back muscles, to keep this strong trunk. Good. So we're pulling those knees. It's a little bit like that field of sticky mud. Remember we talk about that? Going to really lift those knees up and then bring it down. And we can take that little pedal, holding onto the chair. We can take that little gentle walk. Or if you're really tired, we can wiggle the toes. But we're keeping the feet in just to keep that blood pumping back up to the heart and the head, using the calf muscles so they contract, push the blood up. Good. All right, what's the next one? Our little side taps. So we're going to tap out and in. Good. Out and in. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, we can add a 1-arm bicep curl holding onto the chair. We can add 2 arms. Brilliant. And in, out and in. Good. Out and in, out and in. Great stuff, guys. So keep that lovely strong trunk. Superb. We're going to do 5 and 4 and 3. Good. 2 and 1. Whoo! Cooking on gas, my friends. But remember, if we stop, you can hold onto that chair. But if we stop, we've got more risk of feeling slightly dizzy because the blood gets stuck in the lower legs. So make those calf muscles help that blood come back up. Last little aerobic move. So it's those side steps, okay? So when you're ready, you can hold on if you need. We're going to step to your right. We're going to step across. Good. Step across. Now, we could add that little chest push, okay, with 1 hand, 2 hands, or we can just hold on to the back of that chair, just do the leg movement, okay? Good work, my friends. We're stepping, bringing that foot across, good. Really lifting that inside foot across. Last 3 and 2 and 1, and then bring it back. Ooh, little roll of the shoulders, friends. Well done. So that's our stamina building session. And you notice what we do is we sort of give you a little bit more intensity and then we cool it down a little bit. And it's the interval approach, which is really useful at building stamina. Okay, so tip from the, well, not quite the top, tip from halfway up there. All right then, should we bring it into a little bit of balance? Now, because your heart's still beating a little bit faster than normal, we're going to start with balance on the move. So we have our chair in front of you, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with that compensatory stepping. So we're going to take that step forwards, but we're going to push back to that start position. So I'll show you from this angle. Stepping forwards, heel on the floor, knee in line with that second toe, but we're going to push back to that start position. Let's do 5 on this right leg. So we're going to step, and we're going to push back to that start position. Now, if your knees are sore, make that step really small. If the knees are okay and you feel you can challenge a little bit more, you might make that step a little bit bigger. But we're imagining that we're stepping off that curb, but then a car's coming really fast and we need to get back onto the pavement, okay? It's that adjusting. Great stuff. Last one on this leg, and then we'll do the same on this leg. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like holding onto that chair. Step. Now, notice this trunk. We're not leaning over that chair using your arms. If you can avoid it, just have that chair as balance. Good. We've got 2 more, friends. 2 more. And we're going to take 1 more. Lovely. And bring it back. And then we'll just gently pedal those heels. Gently pedal. So I'm hoping that we've just brought that heart rate down a little bit. And what we're going to do next is a static balance. Now, we started this last week. I can't remember if it was last week where we cut out, and or was it the week before? They blend into the others, but I did this whole tandem stance on my own, basically. So if you weren't there because the internet cut out, what we're going to do is from this feet fairly close to the back of the chair, you can see, so we don't have to lean forwards over that chair for balance. We are going to take 1 foot behind the other as if you were on a tightrope. So I'm going to show you from this angle. I'm going to take this foot behind. Now, if that to you seems impossible, just imagine you're not on a tightrope, but on a plank. So the feet are still quite close together, but not one behind the other. And what we're going to do is keep that chest lifted. We're going to have that chair for balance, and we're going to see if we can hold it for about 10 seconds. If you can hold it for a bit longer, great, but I'm going to tell you when the 10 is. So let's come back to the start position. You might have had a little practice, but we're going to do it for real now. So we're going to start by taking your right leg behind your left. Now, once you can see there's a little gap between the toe and the heel, okay, once you're there, we're going to take our view. We're going to lift the chest. We're going to look straight ahead. Now, you might find you have to really draw that tummy button in. Just tuck that tummy under slightly, but soften those knees. And that's 5 seconds already. Now, you may want to challenge your balance, but just get used to it for now. So we're going to say 2 and 1. That is 10 seconds. If you feel comfortable, we can hold it for a bit longer. That's 15. Then we're going to bring the back foot back level with the front foot. And then we'll just move those feet a little bit. So should we try it using the other foot behind? Should we try that? Okay, so just take a moment to get yourself into position. Lovely. Once you're there, hold onto that chair, lift that chest, just gently tuck that bottom under. Now, you may feel comfortable taking one hand away. Just focus on that fixed point in the distance. Okay, you may feel comfortable maybe loosening your grip on this chair with the other hand. You may not. But remember, if you take one finger at a time, that index finger is the last to go. And when we're coming back, hands back on the chair, bring that foot to the level position. Well done, friends. Okay, move those feet a little bit. So that's a challenging static balance. It's like being on a tightrope, but you're not even moving. So great work. That was challenging. Let's try now just some of those little heel raises that we like to do. So we're just going to come up onto tiptoe, and then we're just going to slowly lower down. Good. Now we're only going to do a couple of these because we're going to use it as a bit of dynamic balance. Now, good. We're going to bring it down. So when we're on tiptoe, we are, yes, using our calf muscles, but we're on a smaller area. We're on the balls of those feet. So we're going to bring those heels down and we're going to shuffle backwards just a little bit. So you can still hold on to that chair. Now, all we're going to do is come up onto tiptoe and we're going to take 2 steps forwards, then bring the heels down. So we're going to step, step, heels down. Now, if that's impossible for you, I want you to just take 2 steps forwards, okay? All right, and not worry about the tiptoes. So if you can, all right, using as much balance aid as you need, we're going to come up onto tiptoe. We're going to step 1, 2, heels down, shuffle backwards. And again, this time we're going to step forward with the other foot. Up, we're going to step forward, and there, and down. Good. Shuffle backwards. How are we doing, friends? We okay? This time, if you feel comfortable, we're going to step forwards for 2. We're going to go back for 2. So I'll show you. Don't do it. Just see what I'm doing first. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, heels down. So forward, forward, back, back. Ready? Okay, don't worry if you don't want to do it. Just take a normal step forwards, a normal step back. Useful. So stepping forwards with the left foot first, okay? So we're going to come up onto tiptoe. We are going to go forwards, forwards, back, back, heels down. Then we're going to lead with the right foot. Up, we're going to go forwards, forwards, back, back, heels down. Lovely, guys. Just walk it out. Walk it out. Great stuff. I always think that's a bit, but as long as you've got your support, as long as you're feeling confident with it, you're fine. Now, last little balance, and then we'll move into strength. Does that sound good? We're going to do a flamingo swing. So this is going to really challenge these core muscles. We're going to hold onto our chair, but we're going to just take a little step this way to your left so that this leg can move freely. I'm going to show you from this angle so this leg can move freely. So we can hold on with 2 hands or 1 hand if you're feeling confident. Now, what we're going to do is, holding onto that chair, we're going to take the inside leg as our supporting leg. So I better show you from this angle. We're going to stand on one leg, just lift this foot off the floor, and then we're just going to brush the carpet like a flamingo. The flamingo stance and then the flamingo swing. I'll show you from this angle. Okay, so we're just going to brush the carpet. So you notice my trunk. I'm not leaning forwards or backwards, and that is the key. So when you're ready, my friends, we're going to just stand nice and tall on that right leg. We're holding onto that chair. We're going to bend that knee slightly and then just brushing that carpet 5 times. 3, good. 4 and 5. Bring it down and just walk it out. Walk it out. Should we try the same on the other leg? Let's do it. So we're going to come back behind your chair, take a little step to your right, hold onto that chair nice and secure, looking straight ahead, bending that knee, lifting that foot off the floor, then just brushing that carpet. And we're just getting used to the transfer of weight, that balance on one leg while this leg is really challenging you to stay safe. Good. And bring it back. Okay, back behind that chair. Whew. Right, well, I'm keeping an eye on the clock today because I don't want to skimp on certain sections. So I really want us to have a good strength section. So we're going to do some almost like leg strength exercises before we sit down. Now, I'm a big fan of doing these in front of the chair, but I also think it's really worth us doing it without any support. So we're going to hold onto the back of that chair. We're going to take those feet hip width apart, and it's as if you're about to sit down, but you've got that chair in front of you. So those heels are glued to the floor. We're going to imagine we're about to sit down, but going to push into those heels, straighten out that leg, squeeze the bottom. Now we're going to aim for 10 of these, my friends. Okay, now if you can do 10, great. If not, just do as many as you feel comfortable and just gently move your feet till we finish, okay? So that was 2 already. So we've got another 8. All right, so keep that chest lifted as if we're about to sit down, push into the heels, squeeze that bottom. Good. So when we come down, just make sure these knees don't push in. Keep them in line with that big toe. Good. So we're holding onto that chair, using those legs, lifting that chest at the end. Good. Breathing out. That's 5 done. We've got another 5. Now just walk it out if you need to. 4, good. Now we're going to go slowly down, power up without locking those knees out. 2 more, friends, 2 more. You can feel these leg muscles working, can't you? I know, me too. And just gently move those feet. Well done. Okay, so when we're coming back to sit down, okay, just make sure you're nice and recovered. And when you feel okay, it's up to you. You're going to take as many steps as you feel comfortable. And we're going to come around to the front of that chair. So just make sure that chair is nice and secure, that it's going to support you when you sit down. Feel for that chair on the back of the legs, and in your own time, push your bottom to the back of the chair, and we're going to sit down with control. And then, have a little relax. Good stuff. Well done, my friends. Well done. Okay, I think what I will do is just keep the camera where it is, otherwise I'm messing about with you. We need your resistance band at this point, but you might want to have a drink, okay? You might want to drink. You might want to just chill out for a minute. But what I'm going to get you to do is just roll those shoulders while you're having a little chill, while you're relaxing, because if anything felt uncomfortable in that session, the shoulders will have got it. So we'll just see if we can take any tension out of those shoulders. Just let those arms swing. Good. All right. So seeing as we did lots of legs in that session, shall we start with some upper body? Yes. Okay, so we're going to do what we call a compound exercise because it's using lots of major muscle groups. So this is using the backs of the arms, the shoulders, and the chest muscles. And we're going to do a chest press. So we're going to bring this band around to your back. Now I'm just going to show you roughly where I put it, but it doesn't matter too much if it's sort of a little bit lower or a little bit higher. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold onto the band thumb up. So you've got the palm facing it. What it means, my big watch is in the way, you can do this movement with nice strong wrists rather than like this. Avoid pushing with those wrists flexed, if that makes sense. We want nice flat wrists. So we're going to hold here, and the further away the hands are from the middle of the band, the easier it's going to be. The closer they are to the middle, the harder it's going to be. So see if you can do 10 repetitions. So find a resistance, have a little play with it. Find a resistance you think, yeah, I can do 10 repetitions. Once you've got that resistance, are you sat back in that chair? All right. If you are, lift that chest, get into that working position in that front half of the chair, feet under the knees. Remember, we want that nice strong trunk. And we're going to do 10. So I've instantly regretted that resistance. I won't be able to do 10. So I'm going to loosen it off. And I'm going to breathe out. We're going to do 9, Make sure we're breathing out, not letting that band pull you forward. So sit nice and tall, and you'll feel your tummy muscles really have to work to stop you going forwards with the band. Lovely. Breathe out, control it back. So we're going to push out. We're going to go a little bit slower back in, okay? That's how we're going to build strength. Push out, breathe out, slowly back in. We're going to push out, slowly back in. Have you got two more? If you need to stop, we can start. Push out, slowly back in. One more. And slowly bring it back in. Lovely work, guys. Lovely. Now, while we're in this position, I'm going to get you just to clamp your elbows in and turn those palms to face upwards. So it looks like this. Now, what I'm going to get you to do is keep those elbows in and just open out those arms. And you'll feel this in the back of the shoulders. Do you remember this one, Norma? Okay, so we're just going to use a little nice muscle to strengthen those rotator cuff muscles in the back of the shoulders. So we're just squeezing those shoulder blades gently together, and we're just opening, and we're going to bring it in. Good. We're going to breathe out. Lovely. And in. Let's do two more, shall we? Breathing out and in. And you see what it looks like here. Breathing out and in. Okay. Take a little roll of those shoulders. Now, if you're up for this is a bit of a challenge because we're in February now. We're going to do another set of those chest presses, but we're just going to do 5. So if you think you can, keep that chest lifted, shoulders relaxed. We're going to push out. Okay. Control it back. Keep breathing out. Push out. Control it back. Lovely. We're going to push out. Control it back. One more if you can, friends. And relax it in. Good. Okay. Take a little roll of those shoulders. That was great. So, should we do a little bit more leg strength? I'm really keen on this exercise because if the squat movement, the leg bend doesn't suit you, this will suit you. So we're going to take our hands either end of the band, place one foot into the band, and then we're going to walk the hands down the band until we get a bit of tension when we sit up nice and tall. Now, once you've got that tension, we're going to place those hands at the top of the thighs, lift that foot off the floor, and we're going to straighten out that leg. Now, make sure that knee bends over that big toe or that second toe. So we're going to lengthen out that leg, pushing against the resistance of the band. We're going to do 10 of these. So we're going to breathe out and we're going to breathe in. Good. Slowly back, friends. Breathe out and we're going to breathe in. Good. Breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. And in. So just got a couple more of these. Really see if you can lengthen through that leg. Notice if that knee wants to sort of wobble around a bit. It means we need to really strengthen those muscles around, and this is the exercise of the job. Now we're going to hold it there just for 3, 2, 1. We're going to do some little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew. Good work, friends. Okay, take the foot out of that band. Just move that leg a little bit. Give that thigh a rub if you need it. I'm going to do the next set. Just, how am I doing this leg? In this position so you can see from a different angle. So, in that working position, lowering that band down, taking that foot into the band, and then just leaning forwards, walking the hand down the band till you get enough resistance that 10 feels fairly challenging, okay? It to be fairly challenging. So then we're going to lift that foot off the floor, secure the hand at the top of the thighs, straighten out that leg. Now just make sure when that knee bends, it ends in line with that big toe or that second toe. Good. So we're on 9. Lengthen. Good. And again, slowly back up if you can, friends. So we're going to push, power out, and slow and control back. Good. Push, slow and control back. Keeping a really nice, strong trunk. You've got it. And again, don't forget to breathe out. It's so tempting, isn't it? Good. We just got 4 more. Or is it 3? It's 3. And 2. And 1. Now hold it there just for a count of 3, 2, 1. Then a little pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. And bring it in. Lovely. Oh, give that thigh a bit of a rub, chums. Good stuff. All right. We're going to do this upper back exercise. So most of us tend to do quite a lot of stuff here. So we want to strengthen the back muscles so we're not letting them get too weak. So we're going to take the band over those hands, okay, slightly less than shoulder width apart if you can. And we're just going to relax the shoulders, draw that band apart, and then we're going to squeeze those elbows behind us, draw the shoulder blades together and release. Good. All right, should we try and do 10 of those? As many as you can, my friends. So when you're ready, sitting nice and tall, tension, squeeze, looking straight ahead and release. Tension, squeeze those shoulder blades together, looking straight ahead and breathe out. Good. I tend to breathe out as I squeeze my arms behind me. As long as you are breathing out, doesn't matter when you do it. Good. Squeeze and release. So you might feel some burning around those shoulder blades. If it gets too much, just stop and we'll slowly build as the weeks go on. Let's see if we can do 2 more. Keep that chin drawn to the back of the neck. And release. Oh, really need those shoulder rolls now, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, so we're going to finish up just with a little bit of lower back work. So again, taking either end of that band, we're going to take both feet into the band this time. Okay, both feet into the band. You're going to draw that tummy button in. So imagine you're doing it that tight pair of trousers. Just let that chest gently come over those thighs, not as far, no, don't push into any pain. Nice long back if you can. Now push those feet into the floor. See if you can lift this chest. So I want you to imagine you've got car headlights on your chest, okay? Now the headlights are shining on your feet, but you're going to lift your chest so those headlights shine on the wall in front of you. And then you're going to let the band slowly pull that down. So we're going to gently lift that chest. Use those back muscles. So we are working these lower back muscles here. We are lifting that chest, using the resistance of the band to make them stronger, and then not letting that band pull you back into place. Lift. Good. Okay, we've got 3 more of these if you've got it. Good. Lift. And bring it back down slowly. Good. 1 more. Lift that chest. And then let that just gently bring you down. We can let go of the band with one hand. Bring those feet off the band. And then just pop that band on the back of your chair. Good. Let's just take a little bit of movement with those legs, guys. Just get some blood flow through the legs. Great job. Really good job today. And then just relax those legs. Now, I'm going to sit here. We're just going to sit down and we're going to start our cool down process. So I don't want to keep you too long, if that makes sense. If you would like 1 more strength exercise, I would like to do another arm strength exercise actually. So we'll see if we can squeeze it into next week, if I can start on time, is it? So just take a little roll of those shoulders, roll those shoulders. And then we're just going to walk those feet out a little bit wider. We're going to just come into that wide base sway again. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it. Just gently taking the weight from one sitting bone to the other. We're just going to do 3 and 2 and 1. And then we're going to come back to center. Just walk those feet back hip width apart. Now we're just going to see if we can gently reach up. We're going to breathe in. We're going to breathe out. So just to your range, my friends. Breathe in. and out. And then we're going to push out. Breathe in, draw that elbow back, breathe in, breathe out. And then we're going to see if we can take that hand, same shoulder, walk it over, give yourself a nice pat on the back. So we're keeping that chest lifted. We're going to support this stretch this time. So gently push that elbow to the ceiling. And then we're just going to reach up to the ceiling, take this hand to the side of the chair, draw that tummy button in and just gently lift that rib cage and breathe out. Breathe out. Good. And in and down. And then we're just going to take that little roll of the shoulders. Good. Let's do the same on this side, shall we? So we're walking that hand. Now, if this is your point of tension, that is fine, okay? It's your point of tension, not where you think it should be. The mind plays tricks on us, doesn't it? All right, now we're going to reach up. Use this hand to steady yourself. Keep both sitting bones in the chair, just lifting that rib cage, breathing out. Good. And back. And then we just take those little rolls of the shoulder. If you want to make it into slow elbow circles, you can. And then, my friends, we're going to bring those hands to the back of the chair. I just want to show you properly this time. So I'm going to move the chair this way. So we're in that front half of the chair, and by just bringing those hands to the back of the chair, if you want to increase the stretch, you can slide those hands down a little bit. Just rotate those shoulders away from center. So I've forgotten the proper word for it. I think it's retract those shoulders. And then just shake it out. Shake it out. Now we're going to take those little taps forwards. So the next stretch, you've guessed it, is going to be legs. So we'll just get a little bit of blood flow going through. We work the legs quite hard again. So what we're going to do this time is calf stretch first. So we're going to draw that toe up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to hinge at the hips, so that chest towards the straight leg. So we're going to feel that stretch in the back of the thigh. Breathe out. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Lovely. Bring that leg in. Let's do the same on the other side. So first of all, we're just using the lower leg. So we're just going to place the heel down, draw that toe towards the knee or towards the ceiling. And then when you feel ready, we're hinging at the hips, just bringing that straight leg, chest towards the straight leg. So it brings in a little bit more upper thigh. You can point the toe if you prefer, and it brings the back of the thigh a little bit more than the calf. Good. And then we're going to come all the way up and we'll just walk it out. Just walk it out. Lovely. So, my friends, we come close to the end of another session. And what we did last week, and I'm not sure if you were with me or not, I'm pretty sure you were, we just took these feet hip width apart. We sat maybe back in the chair a little bit if you feel more comfortable. You can even take your bottom sort of to the back of the chair, but we still have that nice long spine. But we're going to be a really relaxed lengthening. So we're just going to let those arms rest on the thighs. And we're going to think about breathing out through your mouth if you can. You can breathe in through your nose, but you can breathe in through your mouth if you like, but it's just this soft breath out through the mouth. And when we breathe in, we're just going to explore all of those lungs. Just notice if your breathing tends to be a little bit shallow normally. Most of us tend to breathe only into the top third of our lungs. And then on that next breath out, we're going to take this right hand and we're going to just push it towards that left knee. And as we breathe in, we're going to draw that hand back. And then we're going to take this left hand. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. So we're going to let our arm movements flow in time with our breathing. It's a really nice way of coming back to your breathing, back to you at the end of a session. And then we're going to finish with that breath in, with that breath out. Breath in. When we're doing this, we can feel our sitting bones on the chair. Feel those feet on the floor. And then we can relax. Give those feet a little wiggle, my friends. Give those feet a little wiggle. Okay, marvelous. Well done is all I can say. Great session. Thank you for being patient with me at the start, because I think it was about 3 minutes before I came into being. So much appreciated you waiting for me. Hope you're feeling okay. Hope you've all got your resistance bands. If you do need a resistance band, get in touch with me, or your nurse instructor in Ceredigion, because we can get one for you. But well done is all I can say. Thank you for joining me. Happy February week. And yeah, onwards and outwards. I don't know if you've noticed, but it is getting lighter, and it just lightens your mood, doesn't it? So great session. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. I might see some of you on Thursday. Bye-bye.